All right, so what is good, y'all? You already know it is your self-employed friend again, and I'm back. You seen the past video that I did. That was pretty much me going over a book that I felt like was amazing, and that was called Trading. My bad. We're going over Trading in the Zone right now. But the last book was by Tom Hoggard, and this one is actually a free book, and it's by Mark Douglas. It's called Trading in the Zone. And pretty much what this book is teaching you the mindset and the discipline of how to trade. When you're trading, when you're in losing trades, when you're in winning trades, how you want to look at the market. This trade, it does go over some strategies and certain things like that. But as I said in the previous video, when I'm looking at trades, I'm not looking to I'm not looking at these books to get a strategy from it. I'm looking to see how these traders from that have been trading for decades that have made millions, how do they look at the market? What are their disciplines? How are they becoming confident? How do they get to the point to where they're at? So this book right here, this is actually a free book, and it's called Trading in the Zone. I'm gonna upload the file, or you can literally just go online and look up the file Trading in the Zone, and you should be able to find it. But I'm gonna do my best to get everything and put everything in one spot, so that way you don't even have to worry about trying to figure out where it is, how to find it. You can just literally go to my Patreon and just put it on there. And if you're seeing this, that means you're already there. So this book, like I was saying, it was free. One of my favorite things about this book is that they get in the beginning, they have a list of questions that they ask you, and they kind of you just answer them honestly, just how you are. And then as the book goes on, you see how your mindset starts to change, how you see certain things, and just certain things like that. Yeah, essentially, it's called an attitude survey, and that way you get to understand the thought process of how you used to think before you read the book and then how you read it after. So I'm gonna go over just like per usual. I'm gonna go over my top three chapters that I feel like was pretty much were amazing. And these books that I talk about, I'm reading them still. So I've gotten mostly through them, and I'm showing you, I'm telling you exactly so far what I've learned because these books are amazing. And honestly, I'm gonna keep sharing them the more I come across them, and I'm gonna let you know. So thinking in probabilities is number one. We're going to do our top three. Simple as that, straight to the point. Thinking in probabilities had to be one of the biggest things that I've done because I used to think of trades in by individual, each individual account. But what I noticed is that when you start looking at things in groups, so for instance, if you see a group of 100 trades, you're going to see a pattern a lot easier than you're going to see it with two trades or three trades. So when you take a larger sample, or not even a larger sample, just more, and you're going to start to see a pattern of what you do. And then that way you're able to see, okay, well, when this happens in the market, so and so happens. And I start to notice that every time this happens, like, oh, I take this fair value gap, or I take this entry instead of this entry. Well, I end up losing this entry more, and it always comes down here, but I just have to be more patient. So when you have probabilities and you have statistics, you have things that's constantly showing you why you should do it, then it makes your thought process and your trading a lot, I wouldn't say easier, but it's easier to see where you need to fix. And then that honestly totally depends on if you're going to follow through with it or to not. So in this one, thinking in probabilities is pretty much going over you need to look at things as a bigger picture. Stop looking at everything as an individual trade. Look at things as the bigger picture. If you're trading, look and see how the things act as an overall. So that way you can take a step back and find out what is it that you need to do to change the outcome that you're having. Reading these type of books are going to change everything. A lot of us, we have expectations of how we want things to go, but in reality, we need to just go with the flow. The market is going to do exactly what it's going to do, and at the end of the day, we can't control the market. We can just control how our emotions feel and what trades we put on the market. So once we understand that and see and trade for what it is, not for what we want, that is going to change the game completely. Now, thinking like a trader. It's very important because it's all about self-discipline. If you don't have self-discipline, you are never going to make it. And the reason why is because I always talking about how managing risk is most important. And if you can't manage your risk and tell yourself, okay, I've lost X amount, now I'm done for the day, then you're never going to make it because you're going to get to the points where, let's just say, even if you make it to those $100,000, those tens, 20, 30s, whatever, you're going to end up losing it because you don't have the discipline to tell yourself to stop. Trading is more mental than it is physical. And by physical, I mean placing the trades. That is the most important thing that there is that most people don't realize is your mind. That's why these books, like these type of books, these are golden because we're getting insight for people who have been trading for decades on decades on decades. And we're seeing what they did, how they when they started, what was their thought process. And you'll notice that we'll mainly all have the same type of thought process until we get exposed to more and new things. So understanding that you have to be self-disciplined, you have to understand that, hey, trading is about me. It's a battle between myself. You'll notice there's trades that you'll win and you'll lose because of how you treated yourself. So you have to learn yourself first, and that way it'll make trading a lot more easier for you to understand what am I doing? What are they doing? And how can I slowly inch myself to the thought process like them? And then it'll be a compound interest on how you pretty much become a better trader. And last, now this is important because a lot of times it takes a while for us to do it and we don't want to. But taking responsibility, that's a legit chapter. You have to understand that everything that happens in your trading account while trading is your fault. 9 times out of 10, I will say. Sometimes, there's slippage, certain things that happen with the broker that, you can't control. But that is very rare. Like there's a few times out of your trade, well, it will happen, but more times than likely, you have to understand that when you place a trade, it is because you click the button. If your trade hits stop loss, that's because you placed the trade, you placed your stop loss, or that's where it is. So you have to understand and realize that in your head that I am control. I am the captain of my ship. I am control of my life. I am in control of this account. I am control of how I trade and what I think. Technically, you can't control always how you feel, but you can't control the emotions that come, but you can control how you express it. And that's over trading, revenge trading, or things of that such. You have to understand that you are the person that is going to make you become who you want to be. If you know you want to be like the top, like Mark Douglas, for instance, or Tom Hogger, those traders who have a lot of, not even say a lot of influence, because most people don't even know about them or have never heard their name. But people who have that type of thought process while trading, those are the traders that you want to be like. Find a trader who you like, who you feel like their thought process is very good. You're learning from them. They have a very strict when they're trading. They're like, all right, this is what it is, and if it's that, I'm gonna take it. If it's not, it's not. I'm done. That's the self discipline part that I was talking about. But this book, I would have to say, is very big on the mind side. The headspace is being in that zone, that trading zone. When you see it, you take it. Not no hesitation. No. Go and practice. Okay, every time I see this in a demo account, if I see it come to this zone or whatever your strategy says, I'm gonna take it. And every time you're gonna see that more times than likely, assuming your strategy works, it's either going to work out, you're going to see whether it works or it doesn't. But the more you get used to executing and taking that jump, you're going to become a better trader. You're not going to let your mind get in the way. And that's what these books are good for. So this one is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. You can find the PDF online. I'm going to pretty much upload the PDF on here too. And just like I said before, if you're on my Patreon, then you're already here and you see it. So thank y'all for tuning in. And let me know what y'all think. If you have any suggestions for trading books, send them my way. I'm always down to learn. You'll see on these calls, I'll be learning things too. So I'm not too big to learn. I'm never gonna stop being a student. And if you got books, trading books, send them to me and I will make sure I check them out. And I'll do a review on them. So hey y'all, it's y'all self-employed friend. Check it out.